Hey, it's Mike. I'm back, and I'm ready to talk about this Trivikram situation. There's a video that I just found just now, and I'm gonna go over it. I figured I'd go live while I go over it. Why waste? Why waste? I'm not gonna redo it. I'm not gonna watch it twice. So hey, we got fake human, and yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about. Absolutely. What is a woman, right? I mean, other than just just a plaything. So let me get into that. And we're going to get right into the opening, and we're going to get right into this.
Hello?
Hello.
That wheel just cracks me up every time. I love that wheel. And we got fake human. He's on the phone with Hot Lips Houlihan already. He's like, hey, you got to watch Mike. Come over to the light and see hear the truth. Hear the truth. Okay. So this Trivikram video, I had never seen it before. It's a couple months old, I guess, but it's these two jokers talking about I guess deciding what they're going to do and explaining what's happening with him. And I think some of the information in the video is a bit old, but it doesn't matter because we know what's going to happen. We know what's happening. He's over there in Juhu Beach. The woman, we don't know where the woman is. And he's living the good life. He's going to live the good life. So, but we're going to hear what they were thinking about and what they were doing. And I gotta hear this. I know it's going to be look at these guys. I mean, come on, seriously. Where is this? Look at these two brainiacs. These two brainiacs are going to figure out what needs to be done with this Trivikram joker. Somehow they are experts at what to do when your 84-year-old guru has sex with a female, with a disciple. When an 84-year-old guru has sex with his 35-year-old female disciple, and then he doesn't know whether he wants to marry her, and he's all confused. And is there it's instructions on what to do when that happens? Like who would think that they think that they need to go through Prabhupada's books? That these two jokers have the expertise and the knowledge to figure out in Prabhupada's books that in these books written by this Prabhupada guy who was born in 1899 or whatever, right? Born in the 19th century. Went to school in like the turn of the century. And then he writes, he plagiarizes and just makes up takes these mythologies and adds all his weirdness to it. Writes all those books that you see behind this guy's head. All about beings with 4 heads growing out of flowers and demon heads eating the moon and who knows what. And somehow these two brainiacs are going to go through these books and go through all these writings that this nut wrote. And somehow that is going to be the answer to this woman's problem. Her guru her guru abused him. But no, they don't give a fuck about her. They want to figure out what to do with the guru. Because he's the one that brings in the money. He's the one that sells the books. He's whatever. The fuck. They don't care about the woman at all. They want to figure out what to do with him. And these two brainiacs think that they know. Because they're part of the India Scholars Board. Sridhar Srinivas Das and Krishna Kirti Das somehow know what to do when the 84-year-old guru has sex with his 35-year-old disciple and then doesn't want anything to do with her. It drives me crazy. It's like people go to college and universities, get their degrees and doctorates, PhDs in family therapy and family counseling and marriage counseling, relationships, life coaching, psychotherapy, whatever, to study these type of issues and the effects that it has on people's psyche and their mental stability and different things I don't even know about. But no, these two guys can figure it out, right? These two guys are going to be able to figure it all out. And help who? Who are they going to help? What's the point of their little meeting of the minds here? What's the point of their meeting of the minds? Let's see. Join us today for a critical examination in light of Shastra and previous acharyas, the recommended atonement of Trivikram Swami. It tells you right there, they're friggin' insane. In light of Shastra and previous acharyas, they're going to, based on the Shastra and the previous acharyas, they're going to figure out what this creepy old Trivikram, 84-year-old fraud, who abused his 35-year-old disciple and had sex with her for 6 months. They're going to figure out what to do with him, based on the Shastra and the previous acharyas. The recommended atonement of Trivikram. It doesn't say anything about the woman, about the girl that he had sex with. It also critically examines related speculative theories against atonement and speculative theories in favor of non-liberated female Diksha gurus. It doesn't say anything about how they should take care of the disciple that he abused. They don't give a fuck about her. Not one bit.
Hare Krishna. My name is Krishna Kirti Das, and I am the convener of the ISKCON India Scholars Board. And with me today is Sriman Sridhar Srinivas Prabhu, also my colleague in the ISKCON India Scholars Board. And today we're going to discuss an important yet unfortunate incident that is going to tie together many different controversies that we're having in ISKCON today. So the incident is the fall down and atonement of Trivikram Prabhu, formerly Trivikrama Maharaj or Trivikrama Swami.
So they only care about him. They don't care what the woman. They don't care about the female disciples, her state of mind, whether she has faith in her guru, whether she has faith in God, faith in ISKCON, what her relationship with ISKCON is now, what her relationship is with Trivikram, whether, should he marry her? This is the wackiest thing of ever, but no consideration for the female at all. Just, what do we do with him? Because he's Maharaj.
So to begin with, I would like to read verbatim a letter that he wrote to disciples and friends. It's undated, but he must have written it some weeks ago, some time ago. So here it is.
So I'm certainly he's writing. He's going to speak about this female disciple and her feelings and how he wants everyone to treat her and how she should be respected and treated. And I'm sure he's going to address that, right? I mean, to all of his disciples and the whole thing. I mean, he's going to take into account her feelings and her, I'm sure, right?
Dear disciples and friends, I write to regretfully inform you that I have broken my vows of sannyas order and that I engaged in a sexual relationship with a woman disciple starting earlier this year. I feel terrible that I have disappointed Srila Prabhupada in this way.
Okay, so he does mention a female disciple, but he feels terrible that he disappointed Srila Prabhupada in this way. He doesn't say he doesn't say anything about the woman, about her feelings. He's more upset that he offended a person that's been dead for 50 years, 50, 60 years, something. He's more upset with that he offended this dead guy than what he did to the girl.
Sexual relationship with a woman disciple starting earlier this year. I feel terrible that I have disappointed Srila Prabhupada in this way. Of course, I also realize that many of you will be heartbroken by this news.
So he's upset that he disappointed Srila Prabhupada, and he knows that he disappointed these disciples. Still, again, doesn't mention the woman. I don't...
This has come to the attention of the GBC Executive Committee, the Guru Services Committee, and Sannyas Committee, which are aware of my actions and are guiding me to rectify my grievous behaviors. As a result, I have agreed voluntarily on the following. 1, to stop initiating. 2, to give up the sannyas order of life. 3, I will stay in India in Mayapur or the Govardhan Retreat Center or some other similar place for a minimum of 1 year to focus on atonement and purification.
So he promises to go to India, and for 1 year he's going to do the same thing that he's supposedly been doing for the last 60 years. And we see how that worked out. So that's his atonement, is to go do more of what he's already supposed to be doing. So basically nothing.
During that time, I will increase my spiritual practices, especially hearing and...
I don't know how you can be Trivikram Swami and somehow increase your spiritual practice. Everyone should be aspiring to increase their practices to your level, not you trying to increase your spiritual practice. So he's just admitting that he's just a big fraud. Why does he have to increase his spiritual practice? He's the Swami. I don't understand that. What wasn't he doing? I mean, obviously he's a fake. But if you want to believe what they're saying, then what was he doing for the last 6 months? And what was he doing that led up to this? That doing more of that is going to make it better and not have it just. Excuse me, I gotta. Insanity. It's absolute insanity.
Chanting. 4, I will not give any formal classes, including online classes, for a minimum of 1 year.
Oh, you think? I think it's pretty embarrassing to sit there and have to read from the books and Prabhupada's lecture, where every other paragraph he's talking about not having illicit sex and how illicit sex and swamis that have illicit sex is so bad and degrading and all of this. Yeah, I would imagine maybe you shouldn't be giving class, because you never know when that purport's going to pop up and you're going to be asked to be reading about something, and your hypocritical ass is going to be sitting there on the seat talking about not doing something that you've been doing for the last 6 months and covering it up and lying and cheating and just being a piece of shit. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be giving a lecture.
5, after that period is finished, my situation will be further reviewed by the Guru Services Committee.
So the Swami, his Swami status has to be reviewed. Just like my immigration status, I might get my visa, my stamp in my passport. Every 90 days I got to report to them and say, hey, I'm still here. I'm okay. I haven't been arrested, And they're like, oh, okay, bink, go, and then report back. So what? A Swami is like that? He's got to go report and say, hey, I haven't had sex. I'm atoning. I'm chanting every. This is friggin' insane. And all of his all of his disciples are. This is a letter to his disciples. He's explaining this to his disciples. He's like, I know I was a pure devotee the other day, and like you were worshiping me, and I was doing all these things, and you were sending me money, and I was Maharaj, and all of this stuff. But now that I had to admit that I was having sex with hot lips, whatever. Now that that's all changed. What do you mean that's all changed? I thought you were this pure devotee in the parampara, and you had talked to Prabhupada, and you did this, and you sell books, and you what are you telling? How now I'm the disciple, like all of these, like he can just write a letter to these disciples, and then that's it. Like it's okay. Like, hey, I wrote a letter. I mean, what do you want me to do? I wrote a letter. I know I let you down. I know I promised you I'd take you back to Godhead, and now you caught me. I had to admit that I'm having sex with my 35-year-old disciple, and here I was been preaching to you that I'm going to take you back to Godhead. And I know it's a bit shocking to you that maybe I'm not the guy that can take you back to God. I don't know. I don't know. I might a year from now I might bounce out completely. I don't know. We don't know. It's Kali Yuga. It's Kali Yuga, so we don't know. He's just, and he doesn't have a problem with that. He has no problem with that. He's like, hey, I hope you're still around when this is all blows over.
6. In the meantime, I ask you all to stay in ISKCON, take shelter of Srila Prabhupada, the GBC, Shiksha Gurus, and other senior devotees. 7. If any of you...
I ask you to stay in this cheating organization that sent you to me in the first place, and now I just came out as a scam. Please don't leave. Please don't leave. Just find another scammer and you can just continue on like nothing ever happened, and you don't even have to tell anybody. Just say, hey, this is my guru now, and and now you're washing his feet. And if you want, you can think of me. If you want, I don't know. This is insanity. And these two guys sitting there like this is totally normal shit. This is a normal behavior. I mean, we're gonna go on. We're gonna do a little podcast about this. I don't know. I'd be so embarrassed. I was embarrassed, and I left. I was like, I can't believe that you guys are hanging out with this guy, with this. But no, these guys, no problem at all.
If you would like, you can be reinitiated by another ISKCON guru. If you want to do this, I encourage you to do so. 8. Those of you who have been aspiring...
So my guru's telling me, my guru Maharaj, my guru that I've been giving money to and funding his lifestyle and his little temple in Poland, in Krakow, and buying him books that he can go sell so he can make a living, whatever, and now he's telling me that maybe I should go find another guru. Oh wait, you're sending me, so you cheated me, and now you want me to go find someone else to cheat me some more. What the hell is this? My guru's telling me I should go find another guru? I'm your guru, and I'm advising you to find someone else because I'm banging hot lips over here. This fucking insanity.
To be first initiated by me should take shelter of another ISKCON guru and seek initiation from that devotee as per ISKCON guidelines.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I already initiated you and you were waiting for second initiation, and now I'm not doing that gig anymore. I'm really sorry, but maybe you should find someone else, or I don't know. Maybe Prabhupada will come to you in a dream, or I don't know. If Prabhupada could, maybe Prabhupada could come to you in a dream, and you can become Gaura Hari. I don't know. I don't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what to tell him. He doesn't know whether to take another guru or just chill for a while because I'll be back, or, I might bounce out completely, so maybe you should take a new guru. What do you mean I should take a new guru?
Those of you who are first initiated by me and want second initiation should develop relationship with another ISKCON guru and seek second initiation from them at the appropriate time. For these two classes, I will try to be available to give guidance in an informal way if you so desire. 10, to those who wish to maintain their relationships with me as disciples, I advise that until further notice, they should minimize publicly displaying their feelings of respect and reverence. 11, in any of the above matters regarding initiations, if you want clarifications, please contact the Guru Services Committee, who can either advise you or guide you to a devotee or devotees who can advise you further.
The Guru Services Hotline. I guess they have like a 911 for gurus. They have a 911 for gurus. You can call in. You can call. It was like a customer service for the gurus. Hello, Guru customer service. How can I direct your call? Yeah. Oh, my guru was caught with some little boys. Oh, okay. I'll get you right over to the to the homosexual pedophile department. One moment, please. Hello, how can I help you? This is Guru customer service. Oh, your guru what? My guru had sex with his female disciple. He's only 75 years old. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's a tough one. Let me get you over to Guru Services, the Guru Counseling. Guru Counseling will be right with you. Okay, hold on. Click. This is insane. This is friggin' insane. This is friggin' insanity.
I ask that you all to pray for me.
Yeah, pray for him.
I cannot excuse my...
Yeah, fuck us. I gotta pray for you. You're the guru that's supposed to be blessing everybody, and we're washing your feet and touching your feet and offering you flowers. But now I have to pray for you and save your fucking rat ass, creepy ass old man. Now I'm praying for you. What the fuck? You're the Swami supposed to be blessing me with your presence. You're the one who appeared from the spiritual world, came down and appeared out of your causeless mercy, the Trivikram Maharaj. And now you need my stupid ass prayers. And I'm friggin'. I've only been in the movement long enough to get first initiation from you, and now I'm praying for you. And you're supposed to be taking me back together? This is fucking insanity, man.
Myself from these sins and will need your support going forward. Yours sincerely, Trivikram Das. So, that was Maharaj's letter.
Okay, so now Brainiac number 1 is going to talk, and he's going to try and explain something to us. He's not going to try to explain anything. He's going to excuse. I already know what's going to happen. He's going to try to figure out a way through the books to say that this is okay. That this is okay. That's the only thing. That's the only thing they can do. Is he's going to sit there? Both these guys are going to sit there and go, while it was a fall down and then and that, the Shastras do say this and that. Hey, Raphael, how you doing, man? Good to see you. I already know that's what they're going to do. I already know what they're going to do. These two brainiacs are going to try and figure out a way. They already know how to do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they say, what they read, what they do. What Trivikram Swami did is okay. It's fine. And they're going to explain why, somehow.
And in this regard, I had written to him. I'd written a personal letter to him because I know him for a long time, and he's always been a very kind, well-wisher and instructor to me.
Yeah, what that tells me is that he's really good at faking it, because you're one of the ones that he was able to fool. And that's what you're saying. You're just admitting that he fooled you too.
And my wife also.
And your wife also.
We always remember him fondly. So I wrote a personal letter to him expressing some issues or concerns I have about some of the numbered items that have been listed for his atonement. So in particular, I wanted to address the second item, which is to give up the sannyas order of life. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that, or to be more precise.
So not only is he going to excuse it, he's going to actively defend this guy. He's going to actually just defend this guy and say he doesn't need to atone for anything. Fuck the woman. He hasn't even brought up the woman. He wrote Maharaj a letter, but he's not, and he's gonna object to some of these things in his letter, but he hasn't said, Maharaj, I want to write a letter to I want to write a letter to your disciple. I want to talk to her. I want to get her side of the story. I want to figure out what went on, how she feels, how she is emotionally, how we can care for her. She's a member of ISKCON. She's one of your disciples. She needs to be taken care of. She's probably like, if you don't want to marry her, and you don't want to take care of her, or you don't want anything to do with her. I mean, she's your disciple. How can you not want to have anything to do with her? I mean, I don't know if they're on speaking terms, if they are not on speaking terms. I believe she's still a disciple because I don't know what's going on at this point. But when they made this video, which was just a couple of months ago, these guys don't show any concern for this woman. No concern for her at all. I know his wife too. They were in ISKCON Baroda, Gujarat, India in '94. So you know this guy, this Krishna Kirti Das is who you know? This is just, it's just even more creepiness with these guys.
I want to say I would probably be in disagreement with it, and I want to explain why. So the first thing I want to mention is a shloka from the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay, here we go.
It says, Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata matkata shravanado va shradhayavan najayate. So this means that as long as one is not satiated by fruitive activity and has not awakened his taste for devotional service by Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, and so forth, one has to act according to the regulative principles of the Vedic injunctions. Karmani kurvita. That means one has to do the duties. So the point about this shloka is that in the lower stages of devotion, and when your taste for devotional service is not awakened, then you have to follow the principles, the varnashram principles, the regulative principles. So here we are dealing with a case where obviously someone is not on that platform of being fully attracted to the Krishna.
Let's not say someone. Let's just say Trivikram. Let's just be honest and say, don't say we're talking about someone who's no, because you want to normalize it and generalize it. Let's just call it what it is. First of all, let's be honest with what we're talking about. Say Trivikram was not attracted. He doesn't want to say that. He doesn't want to. It's such bullshit.
So here we are dealing with a case where obviously someone is not on that platform of being fully attracted to the Krishna Katha, the messages of Krishna. So he must fall into this lower category, like most of the rest of us, and therefore he has to be situated in some ashram. You have to have an ashram.
So now he's going to just excuse it away and say that Trivikram can do this. Somehow, because Trivikram is Trivikram, he can break his vows for 6 months, hide it, lie about it, cover it, and it's okay.
So just to read some further.
And basically, it goes back to the same thing that the other guy was saying about answering his phone and lying to the cop. We're devotees. We're above the law. So now he's saying not only are we devotees, we're above the law, but when we become swamis, we're above regulative principles. We're above varnashram. We're not bound by. When did Prabhupada say that? When did Prabhupada say what this guy's saying? I don't remember ever reading. I don't remember.
Srimad Bhagavatam, text number 38 and 39 of the 7th canto, 15th chapter of the Bhagavatam. Grihastasya kriya tyago vrata tyago vatordapi tapasvi no brahma seva picture indriya lolata ashrama pasada hyete kav ashrama vidambanaha devamaya vinudhamstan upekshitanukampaya. Says here, quote, "It is abominable for a person living in the Grihastha ashram to give up the regulative principles, for a brahmachari not to follow the brahmachari vows while living under the care of the guru, for a vanaprastha to live in the village and engage in so-called social activities, or for a sannyasi to be addicted to sense gratification. One who acts in this way is to be considered the lowest renegade. Such a pretender is bewildered by the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and one should either reject him from any position or, taking compassion upon him, teach him, if possible, to resume his original position." So Vamshidhar, in his commentary to these shlokas, also says more or less the same thing. He says, they're imitating the ashrams. So this is...
So yeah, he's saying, he wants to say that this shloka, which I don't even know if the shloka is translated properly, because Prabhupada was full of shit when it came to translating shlokas. He's trying to say that you can encourage them to rehabilitate and atone. That's an option. You don't have to reject them. You don't. It's always an out with these guys. They'll always find. You can go through the Bhagavatam and you'll find, 1,000 shlokas that say the opposite. But these guys will come and they'll find that one in this canto, and then over here in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu it says this, and then over here it does Prabhupada does mention that one can do this and one needs to do that, and you go, oh, okay, so there's one or two verses where it's pretty ambiguous to what he's really saying, but so I'm supposed to ignore all the other friggin' instructions that he says. And you want me to, just because this guy Trivikram is your friend and you know him, you already admitted you know him, and he's been nice to you and he's nice to your wife, and I don't care that he's 80 years old, he had sex with a 35-year-old disciple, and that in itself is just abominable. But I gotta let him atone. I gotta be his friend and say, hey buddy, no problem, we're all on your side. Well, fuck, what about the woman? They haven't said anything about the woman, and they're just already excusing him and saying, no, you don't have to take off your dhoti, you don't have to change your ashram, you don't have to do any of that. You can just keep on going, man. You're a Swami. And that's what these guys, and this guy's this guy's part of the India Scholars Board. He's like one of the head Shastra, whatever they call it. And this is the understanding that he has. He can't sit there and go, this guy's a creep. He has shamed the ashram, the sannyas ashram of ISKCON. And until we put our foot down and kick these guys out, it's going to continue. No, he can't say that. He can't say that. This Krishna Kirti Das, number one Vaseline boy, wanker of the least. He's a disciple of Hridayananda. He's a disciple of another friggin' scammer. And he knows he's got to stick up for these guys. And they don't give a shit about the woman. They don't bring up the woman at all. They don't give a fuck about the woman. Nobody talking nor is concerned about this poor lady, her situation that she's in now. Nothing. Zero. It's not even part of the conversation. It's not part of the conversation. If it was part of the conversation, then they would have to accept the fact that this guy's a creep. They'd have to go over like, well, first, he abused her, and she's 35 years old, so she's like, could be his granddaughter. And, she came to him for spiritual guidance, and then he ends up, getting a little, yin-yang on the side. And, that's disgusting too. And now she's got to live with, they don't give any consideration to what she has to go through and what she's living with. None. I don't give a fuck about the women. They haven't mentioned her name. They haven't. All he said in the very beginning, he said Trivikram had a problem with a woman, and then just kept right on going. And that was it. He said woman one time. And if he hadn't have said the woman that one time, we wouldn't even know what he friggin' did. He just said it one time. Like, okay, well, I'm just going to say it one time. I'm going to say, he had sex with this woman for 6 months. He covered it up, and then we'll just go on into like what he can do to get better. We're not going to dwell on the fact that that's the worst thing that a sannyasi can do. That this is the type of thing that Prabhupada preached against. This is the type of thing that Prabhupada actually told Vishnu John that he should go commit suicide. You're a sannyasi and you had sex with someone, you should probably, back in the day, sannyasis would kill themselves when that happened. Hell, that one associate of Lord Chaitanya, he just looked at a woman, and Lord Chaitanya sent him away and said, I don't want you anywhere near me because you looked at a woman. And then the guy went and felt so bad that he jumped in the river and killed himself. So that's Prabhupada talks about that. What about that part of the book? You don't want to tell Trivikram to go jump in the river. You don't want to tell Trivikram to go throw himself under the cart of the Rath Yatra wheel. You don't want to tell him to do that. That's in Prabhupada's books too. No, you want to find the one shloka, the one friggin' shloka that we don't even know if it's translated correctly. You want to take the one shloka that says, hey, you can banish him and not have anything to do with him, or hey, you can try to help him and rehabilitate him. This isn't a fall down. This isn't he glanced at a woman's ankles. This isn't like he actually saw a woman bathing in the kunda, and he actually got, and her sari came up and he saw something. That's, and he was like, oh, that's an accidental fall down. That's an accidental fall. It was an accident. He had nothing to do with it. It just, woman's breasts were in his face for that. And, he's, okay, that's an accidental fall down. Even if he just had some impure thoughts about a woman. Or let's say he's like, you know what, I want to have a hamburger. That's an accidental fall down. Not having sex with a woman for 6 months. That's purposely breaking your vows, saying, fuck you, I don't care, and continuing to scam and cheat. What about all the disciples that he cheated and scammed for the 6 months that he was pretending to be Trivikram Swami before you're not going to talk about that either. They don't want to talk about that. They just want to talk about how we got to let this guy slide. Just got to let him slide. That's all they want to talk about is how we can let him, why and how we should let him slide and not commit offense or anything.
This imitation is vidambanaha, ashrama vidambanaha, to imitate. So without understanding them, this is the meaning of anukurvanti. Those whose ashram is the mere disguise, not genuine, are not true ashramis, for they do not attain the fruit of the ashram. Out of compassion, one should not reject them, but approach them and offer instruction and truth. Alternatively, one may think these people are of such a kind What use have we for them? Since association with such people leads to misfortune, one should avoid giving or associating.
So it's interesting how they don't have a problem letting a guy, an 80-year-old man who sexually molested or abused, even if she was a willing participant and it was completely consensual sex, which it probably was, it's still abuse. He still abused her. He's a guru. He's her spiritual leader, her spiritual teacher. He's the leader of this movement that she's in. She's a subordinate. She's a disciple of his. That is abuse. I don't care if they were in love. He wasn't in love. That's for one thing. So don't let anybody try and gaslight you and tell you, well, he fell in love with her and he was in love with her. No, he was never in love with her. She may have been in love with him. She may have been misguided, misled, whatever. That's abuse. He's such an abuser to this poor lady. And she's probably so brainwashed that she doesn't even know it. She doesn't even realize it yet. She doesn't even realize the ramifications of all that's happening. She's probably so shell-shocked. Just the fact that that this is all happening. And the fact that she doesn't know what to do about it because she's probably not going to leave the cult. She's probably total brainwashed zombie. And she's like, it's sad and it's abusive and it's just, I just can't believe it. And to see these two guys sitting here talking how we got to just let this guy slide. Society has to just let this guy slide. This is like Woody Allen having sex with his freaking stepdaughter. 80-year-old Woody Allen having sex with his 22-year-old stepdaughter. It is no different. It's worse. I don't know if it's worse. It's worse. It's worse because Woody Allen wasn't telling his daughter he was going to take her back to Godhead and give her a new body or this or that, and I don't know, transcendental bliss and all that. Woody Allen was just being a creepy old man who wanted to have sex with his stepdaughter because he thought she was sexy. That's, and that's creepy enough, but he wasn't like making her like all kinds of weird promises and all kinds of weird, and this guy wants to convince us, let this guy slide.
So, that's the upecheta anukampaya. So anukampaya is with compassion. You neglect them with compassion and...
With compassion. No compassion for the woman, though. We got to have compassion for Trivikram, but we don't give a fuck about this woman because we haven't mentioned her. All we're talking about is how we got to forgive him. Forgive him. Well, what about her? How do you know she wants him to be forgiven? Maybe she's upset right now. Maybe she doesn't want him to be forgiven. Maybe there should be some ramifications for this guy abusing his disciple like that. Who knows what she's given to him, how much money. She mortgage her house for this guy. She sell her car so he could print some books. What else? How else has he abused her and talked her into doing? We don't know. No one's talking about it. He ain't going to talk about it. She's probably too embarrassed to say, yeah, I bought him airline tickets and I bought him new Doties and Kurtas or whatever the fuck they call it. And I don't blame her. She's a victim. So however she feels or whatever she's thinking, I can't really knock it. She wants to stay in the cult because that makes her feel, I don't know, I'm not going to pass judgment on her. She's a victim. She's so fucked up she doesn't even know she's a victim. Or maybe she does. Who knows? She should come out. If she's a victim, she should come out and say, hey, I was a victim of this cult. And I'm warning you, man. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. So if she hasn't done that I know of, then I feel like she's like, he's just sucking up to him, sucking up to ISKCON, sucking up to whatever. And I don't mean to put it that way, but, I ain't trying to, traumatize her any more than she's already been traumatized. But staying in this cult, I don't think is doing her any good. Absolutely not. I just don't. And if and I'm sure if she went to therapy or to a doctor or something, they'd probably tell her the same thing. They'd say, you need to get out of this friggin' cult.
Vamshidhar is giving two bhavartas, two glosses, two meanings to this. One could be either that compassion, you overlook their fault and instruct them to bring them to the higher level, or you neglect them. You keep your distance away from them.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're making that. I'm glad you're making it crystal clear that there's two things that we can do: completely neglect them or encourage them to rehabilitate. I mean, gee, who would have thought that those were the two options? Completely neglect them or have compassion for them. Gee, wow! It blows my mind to find out that that's the meaning. I mean, this is so stupid. Hey, Hayden, how you doing, man? Glad to see you here. Glad to see you here. As always, nothing these people makes sense. And if they're trying to base their rationale or their wisdom or their whatever on these friggin' books and these scriptures and this bullshit, you can just see how fucked up they are. He doesn't know whether to condemn this guy, forgive him, condemn him. Well, he knows what he wants to do. He's going to forgive him 100%.
And Prabhupada, he's following Vamshidhar in this. In his own purport, he says, quote, such persons should be shown compassion. And if one has sufficient strength, one should teach them to stop from following the wrong path in life. Otherwise, one should reject them and pay them no attention.
And of course, we can see that Prabhupada's attitude towards this type of behavior, this falling down, this breaking of vows, this molesting of children or whatever, was to do nothing. He didn't care. Of course, he told Vishnu John to go jump in the river, and he did. This is exactly this. You can see why so many kids were molested. They can't kick these molesters out. They have to have compassion for them, and they have to have compassion and guide them to the light and show them the way and all of this bullshit while they're molesting kids left and right, abusing women left and right. They don't care. Gurus falling down, doing all this.
So the bottom line is that if you've fallen down and you have to go through atonement, according to the Bhagavatam itself and Prabhupada and other acharyas like Vamshidhar, that you have to be situated in an ashram. That if you're going to be brought, you have to be brought back to the path you were on. Otherwise, then it's rejection. So those are the only two possibilities. So if we're talking about atonement, then Maharaj, then Trivikram Wu, he will most likely have to re-accept his former position as a sannyasi, because the basic principle is that in the lower stages you have to be situated.
So there you go. He just said he has to be reinstated to sannyas. He according to him and all his shastric learning and all his whatever, he found one verse somewhere where it mentioned that it's in some way, and that, so he's got the option. He can either reject him, neglect him, or put him back in the sannyas. So he doesn't want to reject him. I say, why not just reject him? And he can go atone on his own. Why do you have to facilitate this guy's freaking creepy behavior and say, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to hold you accountable for what you just did to this lady, to this woman, to your disciple. Just fuck all your disciples. Fuck your disciples. Fuck this woman. We're just going to we want you to just continue on like nothing ever happened. And this is the head guy. These are the head guys. And they're trying to say that it's in the books. It's in the books that if this sannyasi falls down and he wants to be atoned and that he has to remain a sannyasi. What the fuck is that? You gotta think I'm a fucking idiot. That my guru can just go have sex with whoever he wants, whenever he wants. That's what he's trying to say. That he's going to remain a guru. He's going to remain a sannyasi. Nothing's going to happen to him. He gets to remain a sannyasi. And if a year from now or 6 months from now he does it again, hey, Nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. Our hands are tied. It says it in the book, that verse, Bhagavatam 7:5, whatever the fuck it was. That proves there's nothing we can do. There's a verse somewhere. There's a verse somewhere that says something that lets this guy get away with it. And our hands are tied. We're just, nothing we can do. It's insane. And that's exactly what it is. That's why Bhavananda's still there. That's why Kirtananda's buried in Vrindavan. That's why these guys get away with this shit and end up in Juhu Beach, fucking leisure world for these pedophiles. This guy just spelled it out for you. Just explained it. There's a verse, and it says we gotta let them slide, and we gotta reinstate. Oh, this is fucking bullshit. Prabhupada never said that anywhere. The idiot defending a sannyas and advising to reject the woman he used. It's criminal. These guys are acting in a criminal way. There might not be a specific law against what these guys are doing, but man, it is criminal. Absolutely. How can these idiots get away? Man, it's pissing me off, man. If I knew I was going to get this pissed off, I wouldn't have done this show today. I don't need this aggravation. I don't need this aggravation so early in the day. I was having a perfectly fine day until I watched this bald-headed fuck. And this other guy ain't saying nothing yet. You don't want to say this?
In the ashram. Shri Srinivas Prabhu, is there anything you want to say about the process of atonement?
Say no. Say no.
Yeah. Yes. I think we discussed this in one of the videos before, and I'll come to that point. But prior to that, Prayashchittam, we also, Indian ISKCON India Scholars Board wrote an article, Vedic jurisprudence, right?
Vedic jurisprudence. How old? So what we're talking about? You want me to believe there was a Vedic culture and they had jurisprudence 5,000 years ago? These cavemen 5,000 years ago, they knew exactly what to do when an 84-year-old guru had sex with his 35-year-old disciple. Well, of course, because she was 11 when he was 50 years old. Because they all go after these 11-year-olds. What the fuck, this guy? Vedic jurisprudence. Yeah, jurisprudence from another fucking millennia. We're gonna base our justice system on a civilization that never existed, that only existed in Prabhupada's fucking fantasy books. And we're going to base everything that we know and think and our justice system and our civilization on a friggin' fantasy book written by a man from the 19th century who thought that women had small brains and that's why and that made them dumb. That's what this guy is saying.
I contributed to that article. Various shastras are providing what is the prayashchittam when a devotee falls down. So one of the things that Satkriya Sara Deepika, quoting Padma Purana, is clearly saying prayashchittam tu paramam praptis tasya kevalam kuryat karmatmakam.
Yeah, so now that poor woman's even more traumatized because they just publicly humiliated and rejected her for the sake of the religion. And it's just absolutely. They just got on here on this India Scholars Board, and they're like, well, there's nothing. Where's my thing? I'm sorry. Oops. I'm doing it again. There's absolutely nothing in their Vedic Scholars Board that talks about what to do with the abused woman that the guru falls down with. Sure, there's lots. It talks a lot about what to do with the guru, and how the guru can get atonement, and how the guru is situated in this ashram, and the guru is this, and we must treat the guru like this, and we can offer the guru the sannyasi or the whatever. We can offer him 2 or 3 different options. We can neglect him, or we can do this, or we can do... No mention of the woman that's been abused. No mention of the woman that's been objectified, sexualized, and just discarded by the person that she has invested her life in, her spiritual life in, she's been dedicated to him and worshiping this man. And he's just another fucking sex swami, and he's fucking 80 years old. He's not even Mike Myers' age. He's not even like a young, good-looking freaking yoga instructor guru. He's an old, creepy old man, disgusting old man, creepy friggin' peeping Tom looking Uncle Joe, whatever. That's her guru that got her into bed. It's fucking disgusting. This guy's fucking disgusting. And these guys are gonna sit there and talk about how they gotta do this and do that, and we're obligated, and Shastra is obligating us and forcing us and making us forgive him and making us do all these things. It's so humiliating to her. Like, she's like, well, Shastra says, I'm in a religion that says my guru can go ahead and just have his way with me and just discard me off to the side. And I'd like, oh, what the fuck, man? Seriously, man, this is like one of the worst shows I've ever done. Like, they're just sitting there talking about this woman. Even the fact that they're having these verses to defend failing cosplay. God, they have to defend these failing cosplayers. That tells me that the so-called process wasn't working then. It wasn't working then. It wasn't working now. It's basically, it was been bullshit. I know. I agree with you, man. But the fact that these two guys, they gotta. We'll find a way to forgive this guy. Oh, I found one. Here's one. It says right here that, you know, if you want, you can kind of like, you know, let him slide. Yeah, but will the police reform again? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. You're so smart. I'm waiting. You tell me. But I'm glad you came in here. I'm glad you came in here so you can learn and see how this cult is abusing you and mistreating you and using you, and they think you're an idiot. They think you're stupid and that you'll take it, and you will. You are stupid and you will take it. Some of you will wake up. Some of you will wake up, but a lot of you are male chauvinists, so you don't care, and you're like, yeah, hey, I get to abuse women, so, you know, I get to abuse women, I get to smack them around a little bit, I get to treat them like shit, I get to talk down to them. I get to blame them for all my problems. Look, I mean, they don't even give a fuck about this woman. They don't give a fuck about her. Guys in the Hare Krishna, they don't give a fuck about women. They couldn't care less. They couldn't care less. They don't care about kids. They don't care about women. They don't care about kids. They don't care about women. They're not going to care about kids. So, let's go back and watch some more of these brainwashed idiots talking about this stuff. If the woman got rejected and humiliated, removed from her service at the temple, and then that would fall under the Department of Justice for a human abuse report. You know, well, I would bet to say that all of those things probably did happen. I mean, she is probably blamed for her guru falling down. All her god brothers and god sisters blame her because she's Maya. She's the woman. She's the bad person. So I'm sure she's getting blamed and shamed. And so that, you know, just like that little girl that got raped at 13, they blamed her. They put her to work in the kitchen. They told her she couldn't talk to anybody. It's a fucking piece of shit cult. And these people want to come in here and make jokes about will the police reform again. These people are sick. These people are sick, fucking, disgusting people. We're talking about a 84-year-old guru who abused a 35-year-old woman. People want to come in and make jokes about it like it's funny. They have no respect for women, no respect for children. They don't care. Just don't give a fuck. It's disgusting. You people that are in it, man, this is what you're in. These are the kind of people that you're in, that you call Prabhu and Mataji and all Maharaj. These disgusting, fucking disgusting people. And then they want to come in and make jokes about it. They think it's funny. They think it's funny to abuse women. They think it's funny when an 84-year-old guru has sex with his disciple. They don't see the damage that that does. Because they don't care that it does damage. They don't give a fuck. Fucking disgusting. Fucking disgusting. You fucking Hare Krishnas are disgusting. You gotta get out of this fucking cult. You gotta get out of this fucking cult. Before an 84-year-old guru tries to fuck you. He's already fucking a bunch of you because you're sending him money. You do all this shit. You worship them. You wash their feet. Drink their bath water. All this crap. Like, we don't know what goes on, man. Like, we don't know. Like, I'm an idiot. Like, I'm a fucking idiot. And you guys are fucking sick. Sick. And everybody in here knows it. Like, you're not fooling anybody.
Vapi Vasudevam Anusmaran. So I mean, it's a longer one. I'll just go through the translation. For a Vaishnava, the highest kind of atonement. Basically, Gopala Bhatta Goswami is not suggesting that a Vaishnava go through a similar atonement that a strict smarta. So he's
So now he's going to try and say that a Vaishnava, like a sannyasi, doesn't even have to atone. There's no need to atone because he's already on the highest platform. These guys are such full of shit.
distinguishing the Vaishnava way of atonement from smarta. So some of the things that are prescribed by GBC seems to come directly from here, which is for a Vaishnava, the highest kind of atonement is full surrender to the Lord. Otherwise, one should perform activities while remembering Lord Vasudeva.
He was already fully surrendered to the Lord when he fell down. These guys are so full of shit. They're shit. It's like they vomit shit. Shit comes out their ears, their eyes, their nose. They are walking, talking shit bag, looking for any way at all to let this guy off the hook for abusing this disciple. And then not only abusing this disciple, but then all of his disciples, because all of his disciples have been cheated and abused by this guy. All of them. All of them have to face the fact that their guru is not who they thought he was. And he's a fraud. And these guys are looking for any excuse at all to just save face and convince his followers that he is still Swami, he's still the same, nothing's wrong, everything's okay. These guys are just as creepy as Trivikram. They want Trivikram to be able to do what he did and get away with it, and everything is just peachy keen, hunky-dory, no problemo. It's fucking disgusting. It is fucking disgusting. Seriously, I can't tell you how fucking disgusted I am with these pieces of shit. If these things did not happen at the temple, regardless, she can still sue ISKCON for defamatory and gender inequality abuse by its leaders condoning the sexual predatory abuse of their monks. And she could use this conversation to show exactly how they excuse and apologize and allow that this behavior to get away. They don't want to do anything to him. They don't want to do anything to him. This portion of Cult Watch Updates brought to you by 7-Up. They don't want to do anything to this guy. They don't want to do anything to this guy. He wrote a letter and said, look, I will do all of these things. This is what you want me to do, or this is what you don't want me to do, this is what you want me to do, this is what you want me to agree to. I agree to do all of these things. And these two guys are like, no, that's too much. That's too much. We disagree with that. We don't think you need to do all of that.
By seeing the Lord's devotees, touching his feet, serving him, feeding him with cooked grains and water, speaking sweetly, taking the dust of his feet, drinking the water from his feet, eating Mahaprasada of the Lord, and chanting the names of the Lord, one
let me go back.
can purify oneself specifically from the contamination of seeing and touching non-devotees. One who constantly engages in worshipping Lord Hari is considered to have performed all activities like sacrifice, charity, penance, austerity, atonement, etc. So this is one stage that is recommended by Gopala Bhatta Goswami. But the next thing that he recommends, he adds a footnote to this particular set of verses, and he quotes from Bharadwaj Samhita 3.26. We can go. He's directly quoting this coming from a Narada Pancharatra scripture. Now, beyond that, he says a satvata prayaschitta vidanam. For a sadhu, a satvata, what is the method of prayaschitam specifically? Because in the case, it starts like this. Kintu cha kachit eva tat.
Okay, you know, let me just say, let me say this. They're putting way too much thought into getting this guy off. They're putting way too much effort into, look, it doesn't take Buddha sitting in years of meditation to figure out that this guy, this Trivikram, had sex with his disciple and that it's wrong, and that there should be something. That either he's full on Swami, and you have no authority to do anything to him, and he can have sex with whoever he wants, and he can go wherever he wants and do whatever he wants. He has full reign, and just let him go be full Swami. Or he's not a Swami. He's not a Swami. There's no in between. There is no, oh, he's a Swami when he wants to be, and he's not when he doesn't want to be. And when he wants to have sex, he's not a Swami. And even when he's not a Swami, he really is a Swami anyway, so there's never a time when he's not Swami. It's just, it's bullshit. They're pretty much saying it's okay to sexually abuse your disciples, just try to be better next time, while criminalizing and diminishing the victim's human rights. Absolutely. It's like she's not even allowed to speak out. He's so exalted as a guru, and he's like on such a high level that she has no right to speak out against him. In fact, speaking out against him would be an offense. It would shatter her spiritual life. So they got her spiritually blackmailed, emotionally blackmailed into just shut up and take it. And if you don't like it, there's the door. How do you like them apples, Mataji? That's the reality, man. That is the reality for every woman in this movement. And every woman in this movement, it can be this woman. Every woman is this woman. It just hasn't happened to you yet. Whether it's a guru, or it's the security guard at the restaurant, or it's the pujari in the room that says, you know, I can get you some really good service, or whatever. And just remember that nothing's going to happen to them. Nothing's going to happen to them. This is going to happen to you. You're going to be the one. You're going to be the one that's going to be shamed and blamed, ridiculed and humiliated, called Maya and Maya Devi. telling you, man, anybody, if you're hanging out with them and you think, oh, it's cool, I'm hanging out because I see him and a friend of mine went, man, you got to stop hanging out with these people, man. There's nothing good comes from this guy. I'm going to tell you right now, this woman that got abused by this guy, there was at one point, she was just like you. And she was like, oh, this is harmless. Nothing's going to happen to me. Nothing's going to happen to me. This is all fun. The flowers and the incense and the bells and the ringing and the ching, ching, ching and all of that shit. She was just like you. And then the guru comes along and says, hey, I really like you. You want to come and clean my room and just clean it? I need someone to clean my room. And you start cleaning his room. And you start feeling like, wow, I get to clean his room. I get to clean Guru Dave's room. And then the next thing is, hey, you want to cook my lunch? You can cook my lunch. After you clean my room, you can cook my lunch. I guess I like to eat this. This is what I like. And now you're cleaning his room and you're cooking his lunch, and boy, you feel like you're just on the fast track to friggin' Godhead, man. Cleaning his room, you're cooking his lunch, and then he says, I'm not even reading it. And then he says, hey, if you want to come, I can give you some one-on-one classes like Gora Hari and Hot Lips. I'll give you some one-on-one, and then you'll really be on the fast track to Godhead. And then they do a little winky, 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 and then he don't want nothing to do with them. Exactly the cases that take place at Premananda Ashram. The monks don't get any blame and break the women's hearts by public rejection to save the men's brahmacharya. Yeah. That's friggin' male chauvinism 101. Blame it on the woman. Blame it on the woman. The fast track, man. You're on the fast track, just like Gora Hari. Gora Hari's got that Lalita Gunga on the fast track to blowing his nose and crying and giggling and acting a fool, thinking that is spiritual advancement, man. Prabhupada didn't even do that shit. You're gonna tell me Gora Hari is more advanced than Prabhupada? That Gora Hari, Snatacharya there, he's more advanced than Prabhupada. He's giggling and laughing and crying and snotting and blowing his nose and doing all of these things. And he's so advanced that he can do all that at the drop of a hat, and he can teach it to Lalita Gunga, Hot Lips, and Hot Lips is going to be crying and giggling and laughing and giggling and crying just like him. And then he's got a whole Zoom meeting of these giggling, blithering idiots in there. You want me to believe that? You want me to believe that? And you gotta think I got a friggin' brain. I don't know what, man. Brain injury. You gotta think I got a fucking brain injury if I'm gonna believe that shit. That Gora Hari is so advanced that he's able to sit there and teach people how to get into fucking ecstasy like that. Just as soon as they hear him chant, that they just go, ooh, and go, fucking, hey, man. That's embarrassing that you think that we buy that. It's embarrassing that you think that you're fooling anybody. It's embarrassing that you think that you're fooling me. That you think you're fooling me? Oh God, you got to be out of your mind. But that you think that you're fooling anybody. What does Lalita Gunga, Hot Lips, whatever? That's what this sinister dark religion teaches, man. It is. And I'm telling you, people don't realize how dark and sinister this is. I say that it is on a par with ISIS, with the Taliban, with friggin' Al-Qaeda and all of these things, these Islamic terrorist extremist groups, man, that want to like enslave women and have Sharia law where you're getting your hand cut off if you steal a grape or something, or, and marrying their children. Little girls at 11 years old are getting married off to these grown men with beards and turbans and shit. It's the same shit. It is the same shit. ISKCON is that same shit. But people don't realize it. But I'm telling you, watch these videos, slow it down and pay attention, listen. Connect the dots. You're going to look like that guy putting all the strings and pictures together, and he's like, trying to figure out the conspiracy. But do it, and it's not that hard. Like I said, it's to connect the dots. But the dots you don't have to connect the dots because you can see the picture. You can see what it is without connecting them because there's so many dots. It shows you that it's a friggin' tree. You know it's a tree before you even connect any dots. So you looking at ISKCON and you go, well, these guys just said that it's okay for a guru to abuse their disciples. It's okay. It's just like, it's okay. And then you're going to wonder why there's abuse? Wonder why the children are being abused. How come it's $400 million abuse lawsuit? How come women are being abused and kids are being abused and raped and... Gee, I wonder. The guy sits on the stool and says, hey, we're above the law. I can answer my phone. I can lie to the cops. What else do you lie to the cops about? Well, I know when they shot the guy in the head, they were lying to the cops. They're telling, well, I didn't shoot him in the head. It's friggin' insane, man. Friggin' insane. They excused this guy. They did exactly what I said they were going to. They said exactly what I said they were going to do. I only watched 13 minutes. I only watched 13 minutes of it. This thing's an hour long. It's taken him an hour to defend this friggin' disgusting creep. We're going to sit there and defend him for an hour with this verse and that verse, and Prabhupada said this and Prabhupada said that. No, Prabhupada didn't say that. Prabhupada didn't say any of that shit. Then one guy looked at it. That one guy looked at a woman, looked at her ankles or something, and Lord Chaitanya said, "Go. You cannot be in my presence anymore." He didn't say, "Oh, well, you have to atone and don't change your ashram because there's a verse in the Bhagavatam that says this, and then we got to let him come back on Sundays for prasadam." No, he said, "Go." And then he went and he killed himself. And you're going to tell me that there's verses in there that I'm sure that devotee would like to have known that there was a verse that said he didn't have to kill himself. I'm sure he would have liked to have known that, hey, he would have been like, hey, Mahaprabhu, it says right here, did you get this one? It says right here, I can atone, I don't have to jump in the river. It says right here. They want me to believe this bullshit? They want me to believe this bullshit? I mean, Chota Hari, I think his name was Chota Haridas. Chota Haridas would have liked to have known that there was a verse that said he could have atoned himself and he didn't have to go drown himself in the Ganges. I think, why did they hide that little bit of information from him? I guess he didn't have the Veda base. He couldn't look it up. But, all of a sudden, Chota Haridas, probably more advanced than any ISKCON guru, he's got to go commit suicide. But Trivikram, he gets to slide. Chota Haridas, he's got to commit suicide. Trivikram, hey, we're going to give him a slide. And if that makes any sense, I don't know. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with this bullshit, man. Until next time. Until next time, I'll be back with more of this bullshit. But yeah, this. And where is this guy? I have a picture of this guy. Where is he? Just so we can take a look. We can take a look at this guy. I got the thumbnail. Look at this guy. Look at this guy sitting there with his flowers and his tilak, Mr. Holy Man. I'm a holy man because I chant some mumbo jumbo and shit. and I abused my disciple. Didn't give a fuck about her at all. I had sex with her though. I used her for 6 months. I was humping and bumping, grinding and finding and everything. I was doing it all, man. He was getting down and getting dirty, this guy. Oh, I'm sure he was chanting his 64 rounds before they had sex. Yeah, you want me to believe that? You want me to believe he was doing anything devotional other than just getting his wee-wee wet? That's all he was doing. This guy, Mr. Swami over here, Mr. Sex Swami. And he's so advanced and so perfect. He's better than Chota Haridas. He's so much more advanced than Chota Haridas. Chota Haridas, he just looked at a woman and he had to go commit suicide. But this guy can have an affair for 6 months, hide it from his disciples, and he's got a whole Shastric advisory board that's going to defend him and say, well, don't worry, we'll find some verses that say, yeah, we'll find some verses. Don't worry, we'll find some verses. Oh, we got verses. Believe me, we got plenty of we got verses up the yin yang. We'll get you off, buddy. Don't worry, we'll get you off. Don't even worry about it. You won't even have to take off your dhoti. You can put on some yogi pants for a while, but we'll fix it for you. Don't worry. We got you covered. I got just the right verses. And if we can't find a verse, hell, we'll make up a verse. That's how much we want to get you off of this thing, because when it happens to us, I know you're going to have our back too. Fucking pieces of shit. Pieces of shit, man. The worst part is this guru master is representing ISKCON. Their leaders are blatantly approving of his behavior. She should get a lawyer and take this case seriously. I think she should. It would be a groundbreaking case. Is he civic, whatever they call it? Is he liable? Damages? Can she prove damages? Did he demean her? Did he her civic rights, her civil rights abuse? I mean, it's a very public affair where they even posted it on their website. I know. I think she's got a case. I think she could lawyer up and she could sue them for a few different things, and it'd be interesting. But I think they could get her for defamation. She could get them for like defamation. She could get him for like mental duress. He was an authority figure. He was the leader. He's a leader of this institution, and she was just a member. And he took advantage of her. He was in a position of authority over her. So I think she's got a case. I think I don't know if she could win it, but I think she's got a case. Retards are us, mental inquiry. Yep, absolutely, man. And disciples saying that it was because of COVID jabs, processes working for them. It's just more insanity. These people are so insane. Hey, listen, I want to thank you, everybody. I know we didn't get to the whole video, but I think we got enough. I think we heard what we knew. I think we heard enough. I think we heard it. I think we got it. We got it. But you can watch the rest of the video if you want. Trivikram Swami meeting of the minds, the meeting of the minds. But see, so it was a short, quick little video about this guy, and I don't know what the update is. Last I heard from Rafael that he was in Juhu Beach, and he was gonna kick it. So we'll find out, I guess, soon enough what the update is on that. So listen, everybody, I want to thank you all for watching, joining in. Howard Johnson and Fake Human, Rafael, everybody, Hayden, Tim, who else? Even Libertad, who thought it was really funny. And Jeff and everybody. I want to thank everybody for joining in today. It was a lot of fun, and I think we learned a lot about these guys today. I think every day we learn something. We already know everything, but we still seem to learn something new every day. So I want to thank everybody. Have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great night, great evening, and have some great luck. And have some great luck. Please stay out of a cult. And of course, this is me. For all you new ones out there that have never seen me before, don't know who I am. This is me as a Hare Krishna many years ago. Here we go. Thanks, everybody.